Welcome back, everyone, to Cruise1st TV. How the dickens and devil are you? Good, I hope. Are you ready for some very, very exciting news? I'm going to ask you a quick question first, though. How much do you need to have some more holidays to look forward to? If you're anything like me, it's very much in need. Well, it's good news if you're a fan of P&O Cruises, as they've just announced fabulous new dates and itineraries for 2026. And get this, now even into the first few months of 2027. So it's time to start staking your claim on the early bird offers and taking advantage of low deposits to get them bagged today. We are going to be sailing Ventura for our three main offers in the show, and they're all for 2027. January to the Caribbean, no fly over 35 nights. February to the Med and Morocco for 21 nights, and this first offer, which is for March in 2027, heading no fly down to the Canaries over 12 wonderful nights. First of all, we need to have a little look around Ventura, don't we? We need to have a good old butcher's hook and see where we're cruising and what we're cruising on. Well, Ventura is amazing. I love it. It was one of the first cruise ships I ever filmed on, actually, Ventura, because I was lucky enough to catch a day where Ventura and Azura were actually in Southampton on the same day, I think. I did two ships in one day. It was very, very clever. Anyway, amazing, absolutely brilliant. Just everything you expect from P&O, the very, very best of British. Everything that we like to enjoy, the way we like it. Do you know what I mean? We don't take adapters because we just plug into the 3-pin plugs, which is brilliant. That's a box ticked. Tea and coffee in the cabin, brilliant. That's another box ticked. That's something we like. And then, you know, we do like a nice range of lovely restaurants to enjoy the evening. We do like a shop while we're on board, while we're on holiday. Even if we're cruising to the middle of nowhere, we do like to sneak into the shops, have a little look at that new gold watch, and then peruse it and think about it, and eventually nudge the other half into buying it. And of course, we've got amazing places to go and see as well. Joy of this one is that it is no fly, so we're going in and out of Southampton, which is lovely. We like that too. That's another box ticked for a lot of people as well, and we're just going to have a great time. So let's see where we're going. Where we're going is just a bonus, really. Out of Southampton, first 3 days at sea, we're into Funchal in Madeira, where of course the one thing that everyone wants to do, if you haven't yet done it, is take the cable car to the top and the wicker sled down to the bottom. Fantastic. Another box ticked in life. Next, we go around the Canaries, and whatever time of year we are going around the Canaries, you know, we've got the most fantastic weather. So we are there in our shorts and t-shirts, wandering around, shopping again, going to the beaches, taking the kids to the water parks, whatever it might be. Gran Canaria is next. Wonderful, wonderful city. You port in Las Palmas, but a lot of people head south and go down to Maspalomas, go and see the dunes, go to Palmitos Park, the Parrot Park, which is lovely, really, really good. Love Gran Canaria. And then we go on to Lanzarote. How many people that you know have taken holidays over the years to Lanzarote? Here's your chance to pop in for the day if you've never seen it. It's like a lunar landscape because it's all volcanic. It's fantastic, and see if you can get up to Timon Fire. Then we cruise on to Lisbon. This is your culture vulture day really on this cruise because this is really lovely. Capital, of course, of Portugal. Wonderful weather again in Portugal generally. And you've got a really interesting day there actually. There's lots to see and do. Fabulous cafes and food to enjoy while you're there. And then you've got a day at sea, 2 days at sea in fact actually, and then you come back into Southampton. So I like the fact that this cruise again starts with a couple of days at sea. That means you can have all the fun you like on the ship. Of course, remember she's sailing down to Madeira first, so it's getting warmer and warmer and warmer as you're sailing closer and closer. Guaranteed sunshine in the Canaries, little bit of Lisbon as well. Couple of relaxing sea days before you come back into Southampton. It's marvellous as well. Do you know what? This is a really, really good one if you do like to cruise with friends and family, and lots of people are doing this. You might think, well, I talk about that all the time. It's not because I'm on any kind of commission myself to get more people to go. It's just literally that actually that's a great thing to do, rather than booking up a holiday cottage or, you know, trying to arrange a little weekend away in Barcelona or Amsterdam, where it's really difficult to make all the arrangements, get everyone in the same place at the same time. A cruise that goes in and out of Southampton, it's dead easy, isn't it? Because all you do is you say, right, okay, well, meet you down at the port in Southampton. We can help you and point you in the right direction of parking and all that kind of stuff if you're driving down. If you're not driving down, there's the train. If you're not going on the train, there's an airport in Southampton. There's lots of different ways of getting there, which is brilliant. But essentially, you just meet everyone there on the day, and you can't miss the ship. I mean, she's a big ship, Ventura. You cannot miss her, let me tell you. When you're stood next to her in the port and looking up, you'll go, oh, gosh, that is big. When you're on it, you won't notice the size at all. I absolutely promise you. Now, you can book this today with a low deposit. And you know what? If you've got people in your life that are difficult to kind of get organised, what you're saying right now is that we're booking a holiday for the start of 2027. Now, if you can't get yourself together, he says, cleaning that up for daytime, by March 2027, we're not going on a holiday together, quite frankly. And your deposits on this one, to do the budgeting, because we've got what's next year, 2025. So you've got, 2 and a bit years of budgeting, but you can put your deposits down to lock it in today for just £89 each. That's your deposit, which is brilliant, isn't it? And that's 12 nights of no-fly Canaries cruising with a little bit of Portugal as well for March in 2027. Why are we booking it now, you might be thinking? One, you can do it for a deposit of less than 100 quid each. And secondly, we're locking in a brilliant price tag right now for a 12-night cruise, which shouldn't be this price. Have a look at this. Is everyone looking? Everyone? Very good. Attention, please. $889 per person. Now, agree with me now that that is a brilliant price for a 12-night cruise. Yes? Brilliant. So, nothing to stop you from booking this whatsoever. It's no fly to and from Southampton. You're going down to the Canaries and Portugal. Your deposit is less than 100 quid each. And your price tag is less than £900 each. Brilliant. So even if you said, right, you know what, I'm going to put 50 quid aside a month, that'll be paid off in no time, won't it? And you can do it like that as well, by the way, pay bits off as you go along. You've got all the way through until March, February, January, about the end of 2026 to make your final payment. There's no reason not to get on this offer. One thing you might want to consider is an upgrade on Ventura. Going up to the ocean view, going up to a balcony. Actually, let's go and look at the suite price as well, shall we? Because actually we've got a really, really good price for our cruise as it is for 12 nights. We've got a deposit of less, or starting from less than £100. Obviously, if you upgrade, your deposit gets a little bit more. It's basically 10% of whatever your fare is your deposit right now if you want to do it. I mean, you can pay the whole lot right now if you like. By the time the holiday happens, it's going to feel free, isn't it? Because you paid for it like 2 years ago. Amazing. But if you fancy this, maybe it's just you. I mean, cruising solo, you've got your price there as well. Maybe it's you and the other half. Maybe it's you and the other half, and then maybe your son or daughter with their kids, or maybe friends you go away with. It's a brilliant way of getting the whole family together. I know we are really advanced planning here, but it's well worth it because the low deposit and the budgeting time just makes it super, super easy. And actually, you know what? This could be, this very much, even for 12 nights, this could well be, at this price, a brilliant first-timers cruise. So if you've never cruised before and you think, actually, well, that's a brilliant price to try it for the first time and get nearly 2 weeks of holiday in the almost guaranteed sunshine. Sounds all right, doesn't it? And listen, what do people love about cruising? The answer is everything.
What is not to love about cruising? It's waking up every day with a brand new adventure at different ports.
People say, you do it every year, and I say yes. And it's not what you think. You must try one. You know, it's wonderful, absolutely wonderful. And they think it's very, very expensive when it's not. When you break it down, you'll get an absolute bargain for your food, your drink, and the luxury of being on this boat.
When you're on a cruise, you're away from everything. You're away from all the problems, as long as you leave your phone at home and you know, all that stuff. You're away from people, you're away from cooking. No cooking, no takeaways, nothing like that. You can ring up and get something brought to your room quite easily, no problem.
Do it while you've got whoever your significant other is in your life. because one day they might not be there, but then you will have the knowledge of knowing you can carry on cruising and carry on enjoying and having a good time.
And it is such a good time as well, because when you're on a cruise, you're just so away from the rest of the world. It's just brilliant. You can connect up to Wi-Fi and you can keep up with the bad news in the world if you want to, but you know, essentially when you're on board, that's it. It's a whole different world, and it's a world of happiness as well. It really is. We forget sometimes. We talk about all of the lovely lounges, lovely bars, lovely restaurants, lovely pools, this, that and the other. We talk about that all the time, but essentially it's the getaway. Because sometimes even when you go to a lovely beach in a lovely destination that you've flown to and you'll stay there for a week, you're still forever on your phone, aren't you? Oh, just check on the news, just check on the weather at home, do this, do that, do that. You're not really getting away from it, are you? And a cruise really does. It's like a complete and utter escape. It's very difficult to be grumpy on a cruise, I would say. Not impossible, but it's very difficult. Anyway, let's do another one of these wonderful no-fly adventures right now. Bigger one now. This is for the start again of 2027, 4th of January. Now that is a time where you've gone through the long winter, you've made your way through Christmas and the new year, and then the start of January. How do we all feel at the start of January? By the 4th, we've all broken our New Year's resolutions, haven't we? That's there out the window, and it's still dark all the time. It's cold, it's wet, and it's horrible. And you could be sailing off to the Caribbean, no fly, to and from the Caribbean over 35 fabulous nights. Again, Ventura is our ship for this one, so let's go and have another little look around. And like I say, you will just love the complete escape of being on a cruise. You know, you forget sometimes. I mean, it might be that you used to cruise a long, long time ago and you haven't done it for a while, and you just think, actually, why have I not been doing that? Why have I not gone back to that? And actually, you really should, and you should treat yourself and just remind yourself of just how brilliant it is. And it's lovely kind of, I don't want to say old-fashioned fun, but it's kind of fun that you've forgotten to have when you're on board. You get involved in playing silly games, even things like, you know, the old napkin folding and towel folding and all that kind of caper. You might think at home, I would not be interested in doing that whatsoever. Somehow, on a cruise, you kind of get whipped up into these things and you find yourself doing things and taking part in things that you wouldn't ordinarily do. And actually, you come back and you think, that was fun. I'm glad I did that. You know, they're real memories to kind of bring home with you. And I love the fact that we're going out to the Caribbean. And listen, if you're just going for the sunshine, if you think, you know what, you know, I'm not up for walking miles and miles every day, but I do like the weather. I do like the sun on my skin and that feeling. Then the Caribbean's perfect. So out of Southampton we go. And of course, we go via other ports on the way to the Caribbean. So a day at sea, and we are in La Coruña in the northwest of Spain. Well, it's bound to be a better day in Spain, isn't it, than it will be in the UK on what will be the 4th, 5th, 6th of January. Then we go across the pond for a few days, enjoy the cruise ship, just enjoy everything there is. And now we're in the Caribbean. Now we're enjoying that fabulous feeling of the sun on our skin. Now we're saying, you know what, I've been to Barbados. Never dreamed I'd go to Barbados. And then we'll make our way around some of the other islands as well. Here's St. George's in Grenada. And every one of the Caribbean islands has a different vibe, has a different feel, has different attractions, as you can see. Some of them are water-based, swimming, snorkeling, that kind of thing. And in other places, you might just, here in Curacao, you might just take that Blue Bay beach at the top and say, yep, I'll have one of those lounges, please. And I'll just have some fresh fruit on the beach for the day. Lovely, sounds good. Cartagena in Colombia, or Cartagena, should I say. There are two around the world. One's in Spain, one's in Colombia. So this is Cartagena in Colombia. So again, lovely places to go and wander and go and explore, or take an excursion with the ship. It's a really lovely thing to do. Now we're in Roatan in Honduras. How many people have heard of Honduras? No, exactly. And that's the brilliant thing about being on a cruise journey, because you get to learn and discover places that you might not even have heard of before. Lots of people have heard about Mexico. This is the part of Mexico that's in the Caribbean, of course, Cozumel. So again, lovely wildlife adventures there, snorkeling, swimming, enjoying beaches, amazing. Then we go into Georgetown in the Cayman Islands. Everyone heads to Stingray City there, if I can spit it out. And you stand there, the water's like sort of knee deep, and the stingrays swim around you. Apparently you can stroke them like cats. How bizarre. How wonderful, though. Next, we go into Ocho Rios in Jamaica. You can just imagine, just hearing the word Jamaica, it puts lovely music, good times, a really nice vibe in your mind straight away. So go and see it in reality. Then we are in Phillipsburg, St. Martin. That's the one with that beach where they call it Airport Beach, don't they, where the planes come in really low just over the beach. I mean, that's pretty exciting to stand there and see and watch. Then we are making our way home because, of course, we're no-fly, so we've got to get back to Southampton. We do it via the Azores in Ponta Delgada, which is a beautiful, beautiful little island there. Take a tour around those crater lakes, maybe, and take some lovely pictures on your way back. And then we come back into Southampton. I mean, it's a lovely journey, isn't it, if you think about it? I mean, sometimes, you know, you can forget just how good it feels. I mean, I can't guarantee it's good for you, but I'm no medical doctor, but being away for over a month and going somewhere sunny, somewhere different, somewhere new, and just being on holiday for over a month, that's got to be a good feeling, hasn't it? I mean, most people's holidays are what, a week, 10 days, 2 weeks, ordinarily. But if you've got the luxury of a little bit more time, and you've certainly got the time to sort of put it in place in terms of the arrangements and say, you know what, I'm going to take a whole month out of my life, or a little bit more, and I'm going to go on a holiday. It feels completely and utterly indulgent. It feels like, can't go away for over a month on holiday? Sorry, why not? Exactly. When you think about it, you think, oh, hang on a minute. Why haven't I done that before? Anyway, for this one, if you're interested, low deposit again today, starting from as little as £259 per person. And that gives you that over a month of full board, no fly Caribbean Discovery cruising on P&O Cruises Ventura. And she's a wonderful ship with a great atmosphere as well. Here's your price for the whole thing. And if you think about what you spend on your 2-week holiday, think about what you spend on your 2-week holiday and then realise that this is over a month. So that's what, that's 5 weeks, isn't it? 5 7s, 35. Yeah, that's right, isn't it? 7 5s, 35. Blimey, I should have paid more attention back then, shouldn't I? It's too late now though, isn't it? 2539 per person. Never too late, Mr. P says. Oh, I'm gonna have to go to the Open University or something like that now and go back and do GCSE maths. There's no need to really these days, is there? Because everything's got a calculator on it. Even this gadget's got a calculator on it, isn't it? Makes us very lazy, doesn't it? Anyway, it doesn't matter. Lazy is exactly what you can be on a holiday like this, so enjoy it. Now, if you do want to upgrade, because you might want to have a late breakfast on your balcony, for instance, when you're out in the Caribbean, I don't know, let's go and check out the prices for that. Bear in mind, this is a 35-night cruise. 35 nights! Do you know what? If I had the chance, and I'm very, very fortunate, I've got a couple of holidays, you know, like close to home. Actually, yeah, that's true. That's very true, Mr. P. Mr. P has just reminded me that I've probably got the next 4 or 5 holidays bagged and ready. It does feel good. It really does feel good to know you've got plans in place. Now, listen, I know you might think to me, well, Derek, this is ridiculous. You're talking about a holiday that's over 2 years away. But when you can do it with a low deposit, you've got loads of budgeting time as well. It just makes sense. And you are locking in a brilliant price tag. I mean, 2539 for a 35-night cruise is great value already, isn't it? If you want to add drinks, by the way, talk to the team because we can discount the drinks package price when you book as well. It's a really, really good idea to do. I'm going to leave you with a bit of thinking time because I realise it's me just nattering at you the whole time. So I'm just going to show you not one, but some of the many reasons that people come to us for their holidays.
With over 20 years of travel experience, when booking with Cruise1st, you're dealing with the cruise specialists. We can tailor-make the perfect holiday for you, adding hotel stays and exciting land tours so you can fully immerse yourself in the destinations you're visiting. As a fully bonded member of APTA and Atoll Protected, you have the peace of mind that your booking is safe with us. We've been on your TV screens for over a decade, and we guarantee the best cruise prices. If you find one of our offers cheaper elsewhere on TV, then we'll match or beat that price. We allow you to spread the cost of your holiday with many of our deals. Just pay a deposit today, and then you have until your due date to pay your balance. Plus, we're one of the highest rated cruise agents on Trustpilot, with over 6,000 independent reviews, so you can be fully confident when booking your next holiday with Cruise1st.
Lovely. I think we've all got a bit of a bug now, haven't we? We all now make sense of this booking for 2027. It makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? Let's do another one. I've got some quick picks later still to come, so don't you go anywhere. This one, it's a 3-week one. No-fly Med and Morocco. This is the 26th of February in 2027. Low deposit. That's why we're doing this today, remember. Out of Southampton, back on Ventura for 21 nights. Tell you what I loved when I was on Ventura, and it was a fair few years ago that I was on board, is the team on board. Just so lovely, just so friendly. I remember meeting the cruise director and a lot of the team, and they were just the most lovely people. They really were. And do you know what? They're so, I mean, if you think about it, if you work on a cruise ship and you're a cruise director, I mean, it's like manna from heaven, isn't it? On face value. I'm sure it's very, very hard work, but essentially you're there to have fun and help other people to have fun. I mean, that doesn't sound like a job to me. That sounds like my kind of job. You know, I complain sometimes about working, and I sit here and talk to you about holidays. That's not really work, is it really? But the team on board are brilliant because they're having great fun traveling around the world. You know, what's not to love about that? And seeing lots of happy faces, having fun, because that is what cruising is all about. Enjoying fabulous service, enjoying fabulous food, those lovely pools, the great games that they play, you know, the get-togethers, the singing along together, the karaoke, all of those things make for a really, really lovely holiday. No one needs to worry about, oh, blimey, right, who's driving or where's the taxi? You don't need to worry about any of those because, you know, you've got your home floating along with you. Here we go then, 3 days at sea first, and we are in Cartagena, which is in the one in Spain, not the one in Colombia this time. Beautiful, very, very historic as well, has the Roman theatre there and lots of things to go and visit. Then we make our way into Tunisia. It's another place, isn't it? I remember seeing lots of holiday adverts a few years back for Tunisia. Always looks really, really lovely. Obviously, we point out some of the historic and the, you know, top tourist attractions, but there's beaches in all of these ports because they're all coastal. Valletta. I remember going on a holiday to Malta probably about 20, 25 years ago. What a charming little place. You'll be so glad of that lovely day in Valletta. It's wonderful. Then a bit of history today. Bit of history on this day. This is Piraeus. This is the port for Athens. This is where you can go and see all the ancient ruins that we talk about all of the time. You can take your own pictures of them as well. And then from Athens, we go to Naples. So from one history hotspot to another, of course, you've got the ruins of Pompeii, not far away, but any Italian city, you can just wander around, you know, marvel at the buildings and the beautiful people and just have a great time. Then we go into the port for Rome. Again, you can just wander Rome. It is really, really lovely just to wander the city centre. And I loved going to the Sistine Chapel and the Vatican City. I just found it fascinating. It has its own atmosphere. It's just incredible. Barcelona, brilliant one to have in the middle of an itinerary. If you have never been to Barcelona, it's a wonderful city, lots of ways to tour around it, lots of hot spots, and it's a very, very interesting city as well. From Barcelona, we go to Alicante. And Alicante is one of those places that I feel like I've heard for the whole of my life, people going on holiday. You know, that's where people used to buy their timeshares and all that kind of stuff, isn't it? Lovely to go and see that. Maybe head up to the Santa Barbara Castle. Then Cadiz, which of course is the port for Seville. Seville as itself as a city is beautiful. Again, very, very walkable. Now, you can just, you know, take tours into the city where you can walk around and have time to yourself. Lisbon, I love. I've done a couple of holidays in Lisbon and it's just adorable. It's really, really nice. Nice to wander around, nice to go to the Oceanarium. It's one of the largest in Europe and it's really great. Lovely, lovely place to be. And then after a day at sea, we come back into Southampton. So that's 3 weeks of cruising. Again, the reason we're booking this right now, and that date on your screen is correct, February 2027. I know, over 2 years away. But the reason we're booking this today, one is because we can. I mean, you think about it. If you could book a flight somewhere 2 years in advance, you'd be booking it right now, right? Would just make sense, wouldn't it? But we're booking this cruise right now with a low deposit, starting from just £179 per person. And that's 21 nights on Ventura in February 2027 to Spain and Morocco and a little bit of Portugal as well. Check out this for a price. I mean, hello. This is why we're booking this today, because it just makes great sense too, he says. And your deposits are just 10% of that. So let's go and check out the upgrades to Ocean View, balcony and suite. For a 21-night cruise, I have to say, to have a balcony at less than £1,000 more, bearing in mind that whichever you choose, you just pay 10% today as a deposit. And then you've got all the way through to February, January, December, November in 2026, roughly speaking, for your final due date. I mean, it makes so much sense, doesn't it? It really does, because that means that people who said, oh, actually, you know, I'd like to cruise, but it's, you know, it's a lot to throw at a holiday in one chunk. I'm not sure if I've got that one chunk. Well, use your deposit right now and then just pay, you know, almost like having that, you know, that split pay function thing that you hear so many people talk about, but you can just put, you know, amounts aside month by month by month, and then hello, you've got an amazing 3-week holiday on a cruise to and from Southampton. And remember, if you book the drinks package when you book, we'll discount the drinks package price as well. So talk to our team about that. Right, okay, time for some more fabulous offers. Quick picks now. These are for no-fly deals with P&O Cruises for next year and for 2026. So we'll start with PO 339, which is 7 nights on P&O Cruises Iona to the Norwegian Fjords. Good first-timers cruise. The 11th of April on 2026 from 639 per person. Again, you can put deposits on that starting from less than £64 each. And then the middle one, PO 340, is 12 nights of Canary Islands and Portugal cruising on Ventura for November the 19th next year from just £769 per person. Is that right? My word, that's good, isn't it, for 12 nights of cruising? Again, you can put a 10% deposit down on that today and save on the drinks package when you book with our team on 0800 953 4700. A bit blown away by the price of that one. It won't last long now, we've said it on the telly, by the way. PO 341 is 2 weeks of cruising the Med No Fly on Britannia to and from Southampton. This is the 18th of July next year with an overnight in Palma de Mallorca as part of the itinerary there from 1259 per person. Again, deposits there are as easy as 123 because that's where your deposits start from £123 per person. And again, book the classic drinks on that one and we'll discount the price of those by 10% when you call us on 0800 953 4700. Now the gates are open for the start of 2027. That means you can go looking for more deals on the website as well at Cruise1st.tv and you'll find them there. And 10% low deposit as well for something that's over 2 years away. Brilliant for the old budgeting. Anyway, that's it. I'm out of time for this show. So you go and book and make sure you stay where you are because you know I'll be back in about 2 minutes' time with even more ideas.